Good morning and welcome to the Runway to Phoenix procurement process session. My name is Ivy Silva. I'm a procurement manager at America's friendliest airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. In today's workshop, I would like to share some fun facts about Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport with those of you who are new to our business summit, and welcome. Followed by a high-level overview of some common contract types and procurement methods that we use in the Aviation Department for sourcing contracts. We will also review our procurement processes and provide information on how you can become our registered vendors. By the end of the presentation, I hope that you walk away with the confidence on how to do business with the Aviation Department. At the end of my presentation, there will be a Q&A session. Please feel free to submit your question through the chat box on your screen, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. But if we run out of time, no worries. I'll be more than happy to follow up with each individual through emails. So now, if you're ready, here are some fun facts about Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport has two major terminals, Terminal 3 and Terminal 4. We are the economic engine, as mentioned earlier, for the Arizona state, creating over 57,000 jobs at the airport and contributing $12.3 billion in economic activities. We are the 8th busiest airport in the United States and the 11th busiest in the world. Believe it or not, our airport served more than 44 million passengers last year in 2022. Phoenix is the home for over 23 airlines, offering nonstop flight from Phoenix to over 120 domestic destinations and over 20 international destinations. On an average day, 1,200 aircraft and over 125,000 passengers arrived at or depart from the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. As you may recall, City of Phoenix and the airport hosted the 2023 Super Bowl event, and over 200,000 passengers traveled through Phoenix Sky Harbor on Super Bowl Monday. We were the busiest airport in the world on that day. I hope you have enjoyed the fun facts about our airports. Now, let's take a look at different types of contracts that we have our airports. Talking about contract types, Aviation Department has 3 different types of contracts: expenditure contracts, revenue contracts, and construction contracts. First, the expenditure contract. What is expenditure contracts? Well, the expenditure contract allowed us to spend money for obtaining the goods or services in meeting the airport's operational needs. Some example of the goods and services that we purchase, such as office supplies, furniture, custodial services, the security guard services, the painting or even plumbing services, and sometimes also the professional services such as consulting services in different areas or topics. The revenue contracts are the type of contracts that require contractors like yourself to pay fees in exchange for the right to do business on the airport properties. Some example about revenue contract that we have at the airport are taxi services, the terminal vending services, food and beverage services, as well as the retail services in the terminal. Lastly, the construction contracts. City's Street Transportation Department is responsible to issue all construction-related solicitations to meet our airport's construction needs. If you are interested in knowing more about construction-related information, I have listed my peer, Candy Kowalski, her contact information on the slide. Feel free to contact her for any construction-related questions that you may have. Also, later on, there will be a presentation from the airport's Design and Construction Division. And that's another great opportunity for you to ask any question that are construction-related area. Now that we have talked about the different type of contracts that airport has, and we also talk about what they are. So let's review some of the solicitation methods that we utilize to generate those contracts. The airport utilizes various solicitation methods to derive both the expenditure contract and revenue contracts. The solicitation methods for expenditure contract include request for quote, what we call RFQ, invitation for bid, sometimes you hear us saying IFBs, request for proposal, the RFP, and request for qualification, RFQU. For the revenue contracts, that we use what we call revenue contract solicitation, the RCS method, which is another type or another form of the RFPs. You might look at those different solicitation methods and thinking, oh boy, how am I gonna, understand all of this? Well, no worries. Among all the different type of solicitation methods that we have mentioned here, they can be grouped into two main categories: price-based and qualification and experience-based. The RFQ, as you see on the screen, the RFQ, request for quote, and IFBs, they are price-based, which means once we issue either the RFQ or IFB inquiries to you, the offer, like yourself, who submits the lowest price will win the contract. Essentially, price is the main determining factor for contract award. On the other hand, the RFP, the RFQU, and RCSs, they are the qualification and experience-based, which means the evaluation criteria will focus more on the qualification and experience of an offer rather than on the price. And offers, qualification, and experience will have higher weight when we evaluate the submitted proposals. Although there are the different type of solicitation methods that we have just reviewed that also the airport used to derive all our contracts. Each contract does require to go through the same procurement process to get approved. To have a contract, the airport must issue a solicitation. From there, once we issue the solicitation, offer like yourself will have an opportunity, will have time to review the solicitation document and submit any questions that you might have regarding the solicitation. After the airport received the question about the solicitation, we will issue a subsequent addendum to answer your question. Once the question have been clarified, then the potential offer can now finalize your offer to submit them to the airport before the solicitation deadline. After the airport receives the offer, they are then evaluated. The reference checks are conducted concurrently. Depending on the type of contract, the procurement method that we use, if it's a price-based, we mentioned earlier, then the procurement officer will compare the prices received and the lowest price will get the contract. Contrary, if the procurement method is using qualification and experience based, then the procurement officer will work with the evaluation panel members to finalize the evaluation results. Once the evaluation result is finalized and based on the outcome of the evaluation results, the responsive and responsible offer will then be recommended for City Council, to the City Council for an award. And if the City Council approve our recommendation, then the contract will be put in motion. We have provided the information on the procurement methods and review our contract types. So now I want to share with you in the near future, what are some upcoming trends in our solicitation process? First, sustainability. Currently, in some of our procurements, we are asking the offerer to provide a summary of the company's vision, commitment, and practice that relates to environmental sustainability and conservation. In the future, we plan to have sustainability goals that align with the airport and the City of Phoenix overall sustainability plan, and we are inviting our business community to be part of this future, recognizing that many businesses are already accomplishing great things in the area of sustainability. I also want to invite you to participate in our Living Sustainable panel discussion session later on today. The second trend that is the virtual meetings. Currently, the airport conducts pre-offer meetings and offer openings for all solicitation virtually. And this virtual meeting method for processing our solicitation will continue and are here to stay. Lastly, automation. The City of Phoenix is working on automating our solicitation issuance and allowing our offers to submit proposal or bids electronically in the near future. The city has selected a system to provide the mentioned functionality. Once the system is ready to roll out, we will reach back out to our vendor community to introduce the system. So stay tuned. By now, with all the wonderful information that I have shared about the contracts, types, and the solicitation method that we use, and also our procurement processes at the airports, I hope that you are eager to know how you can register to become a city vendor. By the way, I want to also encourage all of you to register and become a city vendor if you haven't already. To do so, first, you will register your company through City's Procure Phoenix system using the web link provided on this slide. There are steps that you will be required to go through during the registration process and until completion. Of course, during the registration process, if you have any questions, you can either call the phone number listed on the screen, or you can send your question via emails. If you do call, we have a live representative standing by to answer the question on the spot. Additionally, you can also register with the Aviation Department to become part of the aviation vendor list. To do so, please send us an email with the information indicated on this slide to the bizop.aviation@phoenix.gov. Once you have registered with the city, you may wonder, hey, what is the next step that I can do or you can do to prepare your company for the next business opportunity with the city and be successful? There are some existing resources that are helpful and available to you. So let me tell you about it. As you are aware, or may be aware, that city contracts are all public records. Anyone can obtain a copy of the contract through city clerk's website by using the keyword to research the desired contracts. For example, if you are interested in obtaining a copy of the custodial services contract, once you get to the city clerk's website, type in the keyword custodial, and all contracts that are related to the custodial services will be listed. You can then select the appropriate or the desired custodial services contract that you are interested in. You may wonder, why is Ivy telling me obtain a copy of the contract that city has? What does that do for me? Well, the contract that you see will be able to provide 3 major pieces of information for you as a potential vendor. First, it helps you to get an idea of the contract performance and service requirements. These requirements are vital to be successful when you contract with the city for the selected services. Second, in the same contract, you will get to see the insurance requirement. All city contractors are required to comply with the insurance requirement outlined in each of the contracts. Having an idea of the city's insurance requirement and the associate limits required will help you to assess your overall expense when preparing your bid to submit to the city. Finally, a copy of the contract will also reveal the price that city is currently paying for the desired goods and services. This piece of information will give you an insight to make a better and more informed decision in contracting with the city. Now, we are almost at the end of my presentation. I want to leave you with my contact information. Please feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to either provide you with the answer to the question or connect you to the right person for your questions. With that, we are moving into our Q&A session. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them away. As mentioned earlier, please submit your question through the chat box on your screen. Do we have any questions submitted?
We currently do not have any questions.
Okay, I will give, that means, does that mean everybody understands or, receive the information that I presented today and there's no further questions?
Are there opportunities for ACDBE consultants?
Yes, definitely the ACDB consultant. I believe there will be a opportunity in the near future. However, I will encourage the company to register, become aviation register vendor list part of the aviation vendor list. So in the future, when the business opportunity does come up, when we issue a solicitation, we will make sure to send a courtesy email to notify you for this potential upcoming business opportunities.
Are you able to put your contact information back on the screen?
Sure, definitely. Yeah, there you go.
How often are the contracts up for tender?
So, City of Phoenix, in general, the contract can go as up to 5 years. So, once and our depending on the operational needs, our end user client division, typically we will go as far as 5 years. And if let's say if due to operational requirements, sometimes the contract can end early, can end little tiny bit late. But in general, rule of thumb, City of Phoenix contract is up to 5 years.
Can you repeat how to research current contracts?
Sure. To research current contract, I'm gonna go back to the slides that if you go into City of Phoenix, let me switch to, I'll take you to the website that, you can go through the city portal, and let me share with you. So if you do go to www.phoenix.gov, once you get there, you can actually, I believe you go to click on doing business in Phoenix. And here are different, actually, I apologize. I believe 5 public records. So as you can see, www.phoenix.gov, then you go to find public records. Once you click on there, it will ask you what kind of public records you are looking for. And what you want to do, you want to scroll down to City Clerk Department. And then you want to click on the very first one, Public Records Search. And that, once you get here, is really the website that I have on my original presentation slides. And so there's a user agreement that you're going to have to, agree. And then once you get in there, now it will say enter keyword search. So you can enter a keyword plumbing, custodial, whatever goods or services that you are looking for. And so on the begin date and end date, you may want to set a parameter. Sometimes, if the contract is in the past, you may want to just maybe say begin date is 2018. And then on the end date, we'll keep it as of today. Then that will give you a bigger parameter when the system is trying to search for the contract. Once you type in the keywords, you want to, typically what I do is I'll just check identify document type. You will want to check it all so that it covers broader basis. It will pull anything with the keyword that you are researching that will show up, the related document, it will show in the search result. I hope that clarifies.
The next question is the list of airport approved vendors available to the general contractors.
No, that is for, and I think, with that, we are trying to protect other people's, other companies, their contact information. No, it's not available to the general public. It's for us to notify our potential vendors for any upcoming business opportunities. No, I need that back. Any other questions?
Sorry, that's all the questions right now.
So another things I also want to share with you is one of the things that I get asked often, which is, hey, I would like to know what our city currently needing, for the goods and services. So with that, I want to kind of share with you how you will find out what are the current active solicitation, either by department or just in general. I want to share with you how you will be able to get that information. So if you go to www.phoenix.gov, if you click on doing business in Phoenix, you say contracting with the city. Once you click on that, there are different selections you can make. If you say view current city solicitations, it will take you to the screen like it's showing on my screen. So it says solicitation. If I want to see by department, I just type in aviation. Then I click search. So what it will list here currently for Aviation Department, there are 4 different solicitations that are out on the street. So this is how you can search by department to see, hey, what kind of goods and services that we have by department currently that is out there. And if you know the specific title of the solicitation you are looking for, you can click on the title, typing in the titles, and that will get you there to obtain a copy of the solicitation document. So that is typically the common question I receive from our vendor community to ask, hey, how do I know? What are you guys needing right now? So I just want to take this opportunity to share with you how you can search, the current solicitation actively out on the street. So is there any additional questions?
There's a couple more questions, Ivy, but we are out of time for the Q&A.
No worries. So for those couple questions, I will obtain those questions and I'll reach back out with the individual that submit the question through email. So if we are out of time, I think I want to thank you for everybody for your time to attend my session. Have a great day.